Okay. How well prepared do you feel to teach students with disabilities and other special learning needs?
I mean, I feel real prepared. Just experience. They do a good job of giving us like plenty of paperwork, special education assistance, and telling us what accommodations or changes we need to make for students to learn. And so I feel pretty prepared, all things considered.
Did you complete a traditional program or an alternative certification?
No, I did traditional.
Okay. Do you care to elaborate on that, like where you got it from?
Oh, so I went to LCU, got my degree, secondary education. We did teaching certification, everything through LCU. So my degree is in education. My emphasis is in advanced science and social studies.
What is your role and responsibility in teaching students with disabilities?
Our role as a teacher is to give them an equal playing field, not equal results. So the way we kind of phrase it is everybody should have an equal opportunity to be successful. Not everybody is going to have equal success. And that sounds a little bit harsh, but our job is not to just pass the kid just because they have special needs or something, or give them a B, or it's to give them the tools they need in order to succeed. So if we have a student that has hearing loss, for example, we have to make sure that we give them written instructions. That's not boosting their grade or giving them a curve. It's giving them the equal opportunity to learn, giving them the tools that they need to have an equal chance at success.
In your opinion, what are the characteristics of an effective, inclusive instruction?
Most important thing is figuring out individual student needs. So just because their paperwork says one thing doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Their paperwork could say they need to always work by themselves. Well, if they're best friends in the class, then maybe have them work with their best friend. If it says that their test needs to be read to them out loud, ask them, do you want your test read out loud to you? Do you want parts of it? Do you want none of it? And at least in high school, the kids are pretty good about telling you what they need and what they don't need, especially if you ask them questions.
Describe the frequency and methods of collaboration between you and the special education teachers working with your students with disabilities.
So every CFS, that's that meeting we have once in 6 weeks, we also have our science SPED people with us.
Right.
So we can sit down and say, okay, here's what we're going to do in order to accommodate for our special education students, or what we think we need to do. And then every single day, towards the beginning and end of class, where I have a SPED assistant, we'll talk about the students that we're targeting for the day, and then what are some things to look out for in order to help them be successful.
In what ways are you providing effective instruction for students with disabilities?
Meeting their accommodations. So whether it's on the paperwork or not, special education students, I just think of it as they're just regular students. They just have what they need on paper versus you trying to figure it out. And what they might need is different or more advanced than some of your just regular students that you'll have in class, your regular population. But it's just, they just need some extra help. And so once you figure out, okay, this kid is always going to need to do his work on paper. Once you've realized, okay, this kid always needs an opportunity to take a test orally rather than written, then you just do that consistently, and you consistently meet their accommodations, whether it be on paper or just what they ask for.
What is your biggest challenge in working with students with disabilities?
The biggest challenge is that every single student that's SPED or 504 is extremely unique. Because SPED or 504 could be hearing, could be sight, could be autism, could be Asperger's, could be any number of things, and all of them are extremely different. So our regular population students, they have a lot of tendencies that are about the same. Our SPED population, each one of them is going to be completely unique, and so you have to tailor your lessons every single time with them in mind.
I will be in my own classroom next fall. What recommendations do you have to help prepare me to teach students with disabilities and other special learning needs?
Number one, be patient with them, because it takes a long time to figure out, one, what they think they need to be successful, and two, what they actually need to be successful. Second thing, have great communication with your special education assistant, special education counselor. Third, make sure you have good parent or guardian contact. Because the best thing that you can do is call them and say, hey, your kid was doing really good today. He showed up on time, he was doing his work, he stayed focused. That way, when you have those struggles and you can't figure out a solution, those conference calls with parents and guardians go a lot smoother.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Nope.